Oh, that's so far away. Oh, it's so far away. God, this place is beautiful. 160. Is it up here? Yeah. Woo! Aether current. Yeah. Now, where's the nearest one? 311 to the east. That is far away. Ah! 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 A butterfly! The pixies love to prank URIANGER. He often mutters about how he hates tea and having the place clean, so to prank him, they make him tea and clean the place. URIANGER knows how to get around pixies' smarts. He's a fucking genius. Where is the supreme hotness of it that is URIANGER? And here we are at long last. I give you URIANGER's humble abode. Come, let's see if he's home. Guess where we're at.
URIANGER, are you in?
Yep.
Unto a world weary of heroes, a hero wends his way. The Exarch did send word that thou wouldst seek me out, but ne'er did I imagine thou wouldst arrive so soon. Full glad am I to see thee once more, my friend, and none the worse for thy travails. Another one for you to imbue, if you'd be so kind.
How is this gonna get ruined?
I take it thou hast met with our other comrades already?
Well, most of them. We haven't seen Y'shtola yet. How dare they put URIANGER and Thancred in the same room?
That Master Alphino and Mistress Elezen now travel in thy company is of great comfort to me. As for the rest, it beginneth in earnest. The hunting of the Light Wardens, and perforce the war with Yulmore. And through them behold the vision that I did glimpse, that of the 8th Umbral Calamity. As I drifted hither to the first, traversing the boundary twixt reality and potentiality, I did bear witness to events yet to come. There I saw the combined forces of Eorzea and the Far East offering fierce resistance to the legions of Garlemald. So fierce, in fact, that they did begin to push the enemy back. Ilm by painful Ilm at first, then Yalm by Yalm, and Malm by Malm in time. Yet the joy they felt was short-lived, for in so doing they did force the Empire's hand. Faced with defeat, the Garleans turned to a weapon most vile. Black Rose.
Which is what Estinian and Gaius are working on not having happen in the real world.
Its potency defied all.
Holy fuck.
Once released, the gas took on a life of its own, wreaking untold carnage not only in Eorzea, but in the provinces of the Empire besides. From fighters upon the front lines to babes in their beds, none were spared. And as the casualties became too numerous to count, so did the fabric of civilization begin to unravel. Nor did the land itself escape unscathed, for spreading from the site of its release, Black Rose brought death to the very soil. To survive amidst the chaos and upheaval, men came to live by the sword, the rule of law giving way, inevitably, to the rule of might. Thus was the spark struck and the fire kindled, and swiftly did it spread, as a blaze in a field of straw to engulf. Nations worthy of the name did then cease to exist. And those souls brave and true who might have risen to restore order.
Hey, get rid of your... No, you got rid of this stupid hood. I know this should be sad right now, but like, there's no way I'm gonna let this fucking happen. Thank you for the follow, Gremory.
Were no more, for the weapon spared not one. not even thee.
I know why I died. I don't have my fucking horn on.
An endless age of war, begotten by the blight of Black Rose. Such is the legacy of the 8th umbral calamity which I did behold. No matter the cost, we must forestall this tragedy. To that end, I have labored during my sojourn in this world, discovering in so doing the answer to a pressing mystery. That of Black Rose's inexplicable potency. Dost thou recognize yonder chart?
Yeah, it's a bunch of elements. Lightning, fire, earth, ice, water, wind, light, dark. Chart of elements. And only with all of them can the world, or balance between all of them can the world survive.
'Tis a rendering of the elemental wheel, such as one might find in classrooms across the source. As the chart maketh plain, our world is composed of 6 elements, in addition to which there exist 2 poles in fundamental opposition. Astral, the active; umbral, the passive. As a reflection of the source, the first naturally compriseth the selfsame forces. Yet, curiously, there is a notable divergence in their nomenclature. To be specific, the denizens of this world employ not the terms astral and umbral.
Yeah, they use light and dark, right?
Thus was I moved to inquire what names said forces had been assigned. A simple question which yielded a most unexpected answer. Upon demanding the name of the pole aligned with activity and growth, I was told that as life's myriad colors combine to produce black, the people of the first had called it darkness. At this, did my mind begin to race. Yet 'twas only when I asked what name had been given to the pole aligned with passivity that mine eyes were opened to the truth. Peace and tranquility being as purest white, unmarred by color, I was told it had been given the name of light.
Yeah.
That's umbral light and astral darkness, yes? I'm no etherologist, but it strikes me that the nomenclature of the first is rooted in the generation of the 2 forces, while our own appears to focus on their effects. Which makes one wonder, have we had it backwards all this time?
'Tis indeed a compelling question, and one which beareth closer examination.
My fucking brain hurts
What
from
knowledge
this.
we already possess sufficeth to explain the chain of events.
Fucking.
The phenomenon of etheric thinning observed in the source is the consequence of light, the power of stasis, flowing in from the first to stifle the movement of ether within the land.
I understand. I don't understand any of that.
And according to Master Alphino, Black Rose slayeth by halting the circulation of ether within living beings. Should such a weapon be unleashed even as the first were rejoined, replete as it is with light,
We would have a disaster of untold proportions on our hands. A calamity. Well, at least we have a better grasp of what we're facing.
So
Our objective, however, remains unchanged.
there's not enough ether in the source to withstand the ether that would like
We are to eliminate the Light Warden of Il Megh. Speaking of which, were you able to ascertain its whereabouts?
Aye. 'Tis all but certainly ensconced within Leergear, the castle which standeth in the midst of the lake. To enter said stronghold, we must needs turn to the pixies for aid. Fortunately, I have become quite adept at courting their cooperation. Henceforth shall I accompany you, and do all in my power to ensure that my vision doth not come to pass.
How do they make him so beautiful? What do you think those armbands would look like on a Lalafell? My friend, ere I speak of the task at hand, there is a question I would pose to thee. What thinkest thou of mine appearance? Why is "you're the supreme hotness" not an option? I didn't recognize you at first because you're so fucking gorgeous. Come now, 'tis scarce the first time thou hast beheld these fair features. Lest thou wonderest, I have taken up astrology. My present attire better suiteth that the art. Though not the night be lost behind the shroud of blinding light, doubt not that the stars still shine. I have chosen to avail myself for their guidance, that I might navigate the sea of uncertainty that stretcheth before us. But enough of myself, let us now speak of our task. As I did mention, if we are to enter Leergear, we must needs gain the pixies' cooperation. Leergear. 'Tis a simple matter of presenting unto them a suitable gift. I shall procure a selection of viands and shall please their palates. Thancred, pray assist me in this endeavor. Meanwhile, wholesome, I bid thee obtain that which pleases their eyes. In these parts, there abideth a violkin known for its beauteous wings, the hawker. I shall lend thee a receptacle within which thou mayest capture a weakened specimen. Use the Charlan box to capture a weakened hawker. It's a dragonfly. It's just a dragonfly. I think Bahamut is a good thing to take on a hunting mission. Done. I like your funny words, cute magic man. Thou art returned. Wert thou able to capture a hawker? Yeah. Ah, truly magnificent. Instead of wings, I shall treat them at once to make fast to their vibrant colors. Blessed be our Lord and Savior Bahamut. Yes. Thancred too should return anon, upon which I shall ready all items for presentation. Pray take thine ease meanwhile. Your old guild again.
The pixies shall be well pleased with these gifts. Ah, lest I forget.
What's that?
White auracite, newly forged for thy use. Our mission being to thwart a rejoining, we will most assuredly cross paths with those who crave the contrary. Our eternal enemies.
The Asians.
Thus did I choose to abide in this ether-rich land, the better to fashion a trap for the Asian's essence.
Are you saying that's an Asian grenade?
May I come in now?
Yeah, we missed you, Minfilia.
You may indeed, assuming you finished.
I did as you asked.
That's my girl, thank you. I should probably explain. Though my body remained behind in the source, its limitations saw fit to accompany me. Which is to say, I cannot manipulate ether. I took up the gunblade for its defensive advantages, but on account of my little impairment, I cannot imbue the ammunition myself. Luckily for me, Minfilia has quite a talent for it.
We're gonna pretend like I remember anything pre-Shadowbringers. Because I don't.
Minfilia, once we set forth, we are not like to return for some while. If thou wouldst choose tomes to take with thee, let it be now.
Really? May I?
Of course, my dear. Yet have care thou dost not add overmuch to thy burden, lest I incur Thancred's ire. Hast thou spoken to him of thine encounter with the Minfilia of Eld?
Well, I suppose now is as good a time as any. As you know, I freed young Minfilia from captivity in Yulmore some 3 years past. Not long after, the two of us journeyed to the south of Armareng, to the edge of the Empty, where the flood was halted. It was there that she awakened. The Minfilia of old. My Minfilia. Tell me, what must I do to bring you back?
It reminds you of Squall. It's the Gunblade.
My dearest Thancred, as I am now, I am no different from an Ascian. This child is but a vessel. One of many I have used that I might spread word of her enduring blessing and preserve the flame of hope. In my name, each has died, never having lived her own life. I have taken enough from these children. I will take no more.
But what of your suffering? Your sacrifice? This isn't fair! I will not stand for it. I cannot! There must be something we can do. Tell me!
Should the day come when this child grows weary of fighting and wishes to cast it all aside, then shall I take up her burden. But should she wish instead to become the master of her own destiny, then shall I bequeath to her my all. Imbued with the strength that I reserve for rebirth, she may come to wield my powers as her own.
And what of my wishes? What of Flamine's? What of all the people who love and care for you and want nothing more than to see you again?
It is not their decision to make. It is hers. This child's. This Minfilia's. You have ever watched over me, Thancred.
I just want Thancred to
Now
be
I
happy.
ask that you do the same for her. Protect her. Teach her. Stand by her as you stood by me. There is much and more she does not know. She needs a guide to show her the ways of the world, or she will never find her own path.
This cannot be something easy for Thancred to say yes to.
When the time comes, you will find me here. Until that day.
Minfilia, wait!
What happened?
This is gonna be really hard for Thancred.
And then she was gone. Minfilia, the girl, claims to have no recollection of any of it. I have told her many things. Where we came from, what we fight for. But of that day, I have not spoken.
How do you want this to end?
With the coming of another possessed of the blessing of light, the first hath begun to rise up in defiance of its fate. The question remaineth, however, who shall take up the flame of hope which Minfilia hath borne for so long? Whether we will it or no, the choice must soon be made.
I'm sorry I took so long. It was so hard to choose. In the end, I settled on just the one.
That is well.
She is so adorable.
Now, if all is in order, let us set forth for Elezen.